Hello ladies and gentlemen, Xcentauri here and welcome back to another video. And I hope all of you are doing well because I'm as always, and I know I've been away for a few days as well, so sorry about that. But in this video we're going to be flying, well, landing in the biggest crosswind we can possibly get. So I've chosen London Heathrow Airport here, and we're going to set our wind heading to either 090 or 180. So we're going to do weather here. And we're going to set our wind gusts and velocity to the maximum, literally 100 knots, and we want our wind direction to be on 90. So I should change that along here. There we go. There we go. Got it. And this should really rattle the aircraft quite a bit when we come in on short final. Now I've selected the 747 because it's one of the bigger aircraft in the fleets here on Infinite Flight. And I'm really thinking it will be a good aircraft to choose this. Now, it's also got an older cockpit, which means we can cheat and use the HUD like this. And hopefully, we should go on to short final. We should see pretty soon. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I've chosen a really strong headwind by accident. Typical. We're going to go to 180, another 90 degrees. There we go. And now we're going to get bashed by some really bad crosswind. So we'll try that again on short final. Now we should get the aircraft more than expected. Now let's try and control this aircraft here. Now we are flying way too high than what we wanted, and we are literally coming in vertical across this runway, way too high. So we'll try and drop down a bit, add a bit of thrust to push forward. There we go, there we go. Are we going too far now is the real question. Try and push down that nose. This aircraft is literally just hovering over the runway here, but we're going to hit. We're going to land. How was that a crash now? I thought we landed that pretty well, so we're going to try and use our flaps, which we can't now. So we'll try again short final, but from this view here. And it's a lot easier to control inside of this HUD view. So we're going to try and still steer left a little bit more. Going to really make use of our rudder here, because we are steering off of that runway, which isn't what I want. So hopefully we can just try and drop the aircraft onto the runway here. Add a little bit of thrust here to see if that's going to help us. I feel like we're going to not land on the runway, but we've landed. We've 100% landed an aircraft here in crosswind conditions. Now the real question is, are we going to get all gear on the ground, and can we steer it? So for some reason, not all of our landing gear has actually yet to make contact with the ground. There we go. We're going to try and steer straight back to the road. Now that wasn't very good. Now let's have a look at this in replay, because I want to see what happened on that first landing here. I thought we smashed that first landing. Turns out we didn't. And we'll give it a go in like a small aircraft like a Cessna as well. We'll probably get blown away. So who knows. Now this is very hard actually. I remember the last time I tried landing in ridiculous crosswinds like this. It did not make our life easy at all. So here we go. So you can see us on the ground. Is this us on the ground? Here we go, airborne now, and we are literally perpendicular to the wind here. And this is the first one. Now for some reason it rendered that it crashed. I mean, that bit's obviously crashed. And here we are coming in on the second attempt. Let's probably do this for you. And do you know what? We didn't do that bad. I mean, we didn't actually land on the runway, but yeah, again, we didn't land on the grass. And obviously that gear there is still airborne. Like the aircraft is still airborne. Well, not the whole aircraft, but that bit of it still was until we finally got it down and entered ourselves into a cheeky little tailspin. So what we're gonna do is let's try a smaller aircraft, then we'll try a bigger aircraft. So we'll stick with the same airport, but let's try what? Should we go to Cessna? Oh, this is gonna be a rough flight. Let's get the 172 out. Can't be that bad now, can it? And hopefully the Cessna 172 won't be too awful for us here on Infinite Flight. Now landing in crosswinds is very hard. Now if you are new here anyway and you've made it this far in the video, please do consider a like and subscribe and join the family. We have now recently hit 5k, which I'm really happy with us for hitting that. And this Cessna is straight into some awful tail spin thing. So we're going to try our best to try and fly this aircraft in. If we try and fly here into the headwind, I feel like this aircraft doesn't actually have the physical power here to go much further forward. If we bring our flaps up a bit, try and reduce that lift, hopefully we'll get a little bit more airspeed. I mean, our ground speed can't be awfully high right now, but we are slowly coming over that runway, so we'll try and pull up a little bit. There we go, try and cut down on that throttle, just try and use the throttle here to guide the aircraft where we want it. Now we do have a relatively long runway here, which will go in our favour, and I feel like I'm landing a helicopter on infinite flight here. Just try and just drop it down a bit. There we go, cut back on that speed just a little bit. There we go, there we go, there we go. Come on. Can we bring you down? Okay, okay, okay. No, no, no. This is literally a helicopter we're flying right now. There we go, nearly there. Increase our speed, increase that speed so we don't miss the runway. There we go, there we go. Come on. Oh, there we go. Bang. Oh. Okay. Try this again. A bit more gently. I'm going to really try and use a bit of the rudder now. Try and balance the aircraft out. There we go, because we are waving up and down way too much for my liking here. Okay, that's it. We should increase our speed a tiny bit. Let's try and drop these flaps so we have literally no lift. And then, oh, there we go. Can we just bonk it on the ground? Can we stay on the ground? Can we stay on the ground? Stay on the ground, stay on the ground. Stay on the ground. Increase that speed. Parking brakes. There we go. I mean, we are ground-borne. As you can see, the aircraft is literally taking off because of the amount of wind here we have in London Heathrow. This is literally landing crosswind in a hurricane or something. Okay, so well, we've landed the Cessna. That definitely counts as a decent landing in my opinion. Maybe something like maybe one of the Embraers might be a good shout. Before obviously we go on to one of the giant A380s. So let's see if what this aircraft's like. It's sort of in the middle of the two aircraft we've already flown here. So hopefully something special will happen with this. And this aircraft might be a bit awkward to fly. But I think it will be good fun. So let's see how it happens once infinite flight loads in on us. I didn't expect the Cessna to quite be as bad as that. But you know, that's fine. So we're not really feeling much crosswind here. The wind direction we want at 180 again, and the wind gusts and speed are both at maximums, so we should go into short final. Yeah, we get smashed immediately. However, we go to an exterior view here. It's much nicer and easier to control than that one we've just had. We're coming in nice. Okay, so I can't actually know exactly where the aircraft's headed. But try and apply a little bit of rudder towards the end here. Cut down on that speed. Oh, we're going to miss the runway now. Unless we can turn onto the runway. Yes, go on. Oof, what a landing. We've made it, we've made it, we've made it. We are in reverse thrust and we are spinning the wrong direction. We've spun off. We have spun off straight to the gate. Yep, let's just let's go to the gate, shall we? Go park up. We're gonna slide all the way down here. You want to go in this gate? Cool. And we are now at the gate. Well, I think this is the cargo terminal here at Heathrow, but I'm sure the passengers won't mind. And are we able to lift off? I can feel a bit of lift in this aircraft. Let's get some flaps in. Let's get as many flaps as we can. Actually, really generate some lift. We have 0 speed on the aircraft as we are speaking right now. Let's see what our ground speed is. Good. You guys won't be able to see it, but our ground speed is 26 knots, so I don't think that's enough to actually make us airborne. But let's try and put some thrust into it and see if that's going to make a difference. We are airborne. There we go. We are airborne, literally again like a helicopter. Now that is ridiculous. That. But okay, let's go back and watch the landing because I got carried away. Let's go see how this happened because that was a pretty good landing. I think we controlled that landing pretty well to the best of our ability. So let's see what we're up against. So fingers crossed it goes well. Now will infinite flight load in, or is it going to take half an hour like it usually does? Here we go. Right. So you can see us coming in here. Probably a bit of a nicer view from here. Did you know we do a decent job at like the initial landing, but then unfortunately the aircraft, you know, just sort of veers off and goes in its own direction, and it doesn't want to deal with us anymore, which is a pity. But I feel like there's only one other aircraft we all really want to see do this, and it's probably the A380. So let's go Qantas. I feel I never fly with Qantas. Let's use Qantas, shall we? And let's see how well this goes. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to work nicely for us landing in this maximum crosswind here on infinite flight. Good. Let's just calibrate. Let's check our weather. All good. Confirm short final. I mean, this aircraft is a mammoth, so it's not really dealing with too much bad crosswind here. We'll go the exterior view again. Just see if we can land it like this first. We're obviously travelling, it feels like we're travelling a little bit faster than we were last time. I'm going to try and using the crabbing technique to try and twist this aircraft, and there we go. I thought we'd touched the ground there from my point of view. Apparently not. Oh, we've definitely touched the ground now. And we are doing the same technique again. We're going to swing off and go straight into the gates. Or, you know, just casually take off actually. Yep. Touch and go complete here at London Heathrow. Gear up. Let's give that another go. We're trying, I think we're at the other end of the airport now. We're actually going to try and land this time. And we're going to use this view to get a much better control of the aircraft and view of it. So we're well aligned for that centre line. We're coming in a bit too fast really for my liking. So I'm going to use those rudder brakes to try and steer in the aircraft. Just going to really just try and use this rudder as much as we can. Now we have hit the ground. The aircraft is sort of turning. Going to try and get the whole aircraft on the ground. But yeah, the aircraft doesn't seem to want to go the way we want it after landing, unfortunately, when we go and have a look at it here. So I'm not too sure why it's doing that. Quite frustrating. I'm sure someone will know in the comment section. So I'll have a read at them later on tonight, hopefully, if I find time. Let's go see what's happened here. You know, and fingers crossed it loads. There we go. So here we are coming in on our approach. I mean, the crosswind is nowhere near as bad affecting the A380 as it did that Cessna 172. But here we go. Okay. Okay, so I mean, that was a very questionable landing there, but who knows. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe. And if you've made it this far, guys, I'm planning on doing some Microsoft Flight Simulator content. Now, if you guys want to see that, let me know down below, because I would love to get some of that in as possible. But other than that, I'll see you all in my next video. Good night.